Hey, let's start this game. 1980 Fall Classic Baseball. This is Tony Porter, and it is St. Louis at Cincinnati. 1980, it's going to be Sykes. Bob Sykes for the Cardinals against Tom Terrific for the Reds. And we're right about to get started. It's going to be, let's look at the lineups. It's going to be Templeton and Overfelt and Hernandez, followed by Simmons, Hendrick, Durham, and then it's Kennedy, Reitz, and Sykes, the pitcher. For Cincinnati, it's Collins, Griffey, and Knight, Foster, Dreesen, and Bench, Concepcion, Oster, and Seaver. And playing Fall Classic Baseball, we rolled 2d6, and that, you read the black first, and then of course a d20 for the out. That's a 63 on Templeton's card. It's a blank. And on Seaver, did we roll? We didn't roll for Seaver. We'll use that. Seaver will be a B pitcher today. And for Sykes, he will be a B pitcher as well. All right, so 63 will be an out, and that 11 is a grounder to the first baseman. One down. Next up is Ken Overfelt. That's a 23, and that will be an out. A 13 is, he's a lefty, so that's a grounder to first. And it's Keith Hernandez, another lefty, with a 33, and that's lined, and base hit to center field. So Hernandez strokes a single to center. He's on at first with 2 outs. And here's Ted Simmons with a 64. That's a fly ball center field. Under it is Collins, and that retires the side. So no runs, 1 hit, 1 left, and we move to the bottom of the first. No score, and the Reds coming to bat. Dave Collins leading it off against Bob Sykes, the lefty. That's a 45, and that will be a blank, and that's popped up. Third baseman Reitz makes the catch. Ken Griffey's up next with a 52. That's an error check on the left fielder. That 5. Let's see. We're looking at left fielder is Kennedy, and Kennedy is a 0 error. He made no errors out there. So he will make the catch. Oh, the 5, is the 5 a, no, it's 1-2 KD. All right, so let's look at, here comes Ray Knight with a 52, and that will be an error for sure with a 1. Well, yeah, being to the shortstop. And that is a 1 base error, E6, a 2-out error on Templeton. So Knight is on, and here comes George Foster. Foster hit 25 home runs, and that's a 54. That's going to be a 54 chart check, and with the runners on base, it's a wild pitcher pass ball. A 4, the catcher is Simmons, and he is, and no, it will be a wild pitch. It's 1-11, so it is a wild pitch, and Knight over to second base. Foster's up with a runner in scoring position. Pitch from Sykes, and that's a 36. It's a blank, and that is bounced to second. And that ends the inning. No runs, no hits, an error, 1 left, top of the second. George Hendrick leading it off. Leon Durham and Kennedy with a 35. That's a blank, and a 35 on Seaver. That's an out. A 1 hit right back to the mound. Seaver grabs it, throws Hendrick out for out number 1. Durham is up. He bats from the left side. It's a 51. That's going to be an error check. And on the first baseman, it's a 9. First baseman Dreesen. See if I could track the Reds down. They should be here somewhere. All right. Andreessen at first base is a 5 error rating, so he will make that play, and with a 1, he will flip it to the pitcher. 3-1. The second die is a 1 or a 2. He flips it to the pitcher on that. Here's a pitch. And that's a 42. 42 is a blank and will be ball 4. So a 2-out walk to Terry Kennedy. And here's a switch hitter. Kenny Reeks against Tom Terrific. Terrific looks to bench for the side. And it's a 63. That's a blank, and that will be an out. Will be a pop-up to the first baseman. And that retires the side. No runs, no hits, a walk, 1 left, and we go to the bottom of the second inning. No score. We got a good game going here. Playing Fall Classic Baseball, and it's Andreessen with a 32. That's a blank, and on Sykes, that's an out. It will be, he's a lefty, so it will be to the first baseman. He will flip to the pitcher. 3-1. 1 or a 2. And Johnny Bench. Johnny Bench had 24 home runs in 1980. That's a 32, and a 32 is an out. Bounce to second. Glove by Overfelt, and he throws out Bench. And here's Concepcion, the shortstop, with a 44, and that's hit up the middle and through into center field for a base hit. Concepcion has a nice lead, and Sykes throws over a couple of times. Diving back is Concepcion. He had 12 out of 14 stolen bases. Catcher is Simmons. Simmons, what kind of arm does Simmons have? Let's take a quick look. What do I do? Oh, there it is. Simmons has an average arm. There goes Concepcion to throw down, not in time. So it's a single and a stolen base. Concepcion is in scoring position. In the bottom of the second, we're going to pitch to Oster. A little bit later, I would walk him. 61, that's a blank. And on Sykes, that is an out. Bounce to second. Picked up by Overfelt, and he makes the play. So no runs, 1 hit, 1 left. And we move to the top of the third inning. Pitcher Sykes is up. Pitch from Tom Seaver, 43. And that is an out. 17, that's lifted to left. Coming over is Foster. He makes the catch. 1 down. Next is Gary Templeton, who grounded out to the first baseman. That's foul back. A souvenir for a lucky fan. With a 51 and a 3, it's probably going to be an error there. It's a shortstop. Exotic error. Almost guaranteed to be an error on Concepcion. Concepcion's error rating is a 4, so that 3 will be an error. I'm going to have to pull the chart for this unusual or exotic play. There's actually an exotic chart. And shortstop error, base is empty, ball fumbled and kicked by shortstop into center, batter to second, F runner on base, or F runner out at third if the center fielder is a strong arm. Let's see, nobody's on base. So F runner, Templeton is an F runner. So if our center fielder, Collins, he has an average arm, so it will be a 3-base game here in the bottom of the third inning. Tom Terrific is batting. The pitch. That's a 62, and a 62 is a blank, and that will be an out. Fly ball, center field. Under it is Hendrick for the out. Out number 1 in the bottom of the third. Next is Collins with a 63, and it's a blank, and that'll be another out. And this will be bounced to first. Taking it himself is Hernandez. Ken Griffey with 2 outs. That's a pitch, and that's a 44, and that's lined for a base hit to right field. Played on a hop by Durham. And that 44, Ken Griffey, has a good lead and throw over by Sykes. And there goes Griffey, the throw by Kennedy, and that is a stolen base. Second time the Reds steal a base, so Ken Griffey's on at second base in scoring position with 2 outs, and that's going to be a 23. Ray Knight, 23 is a 1-8K. It's a 10, and that is line to center field. Hit well, but right out to center field. There are no runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We go top of the 4th. No score in this one. Ted Simmons leading off. That's a 33, and that's hit up the middle and through into center field. Leadoff single for Ted Simmons. He is F. George Hendrick is next. Pitch from Seaver with a 52 and a 1. That's going to be another error. That's going to be error on the third, a 2-base error on the third baseman. Almost guaranteed. Third baseman is Knight, and that is a 2-base error. So E5. So another error here. Let's see. That's the second error, and then 1 error on the Cardinals. So now we got second and third, nobody out, and we're playing the infield. You know what? We're gonna walk Durham and play for the double play. Going to face Kennedy. Here's the pitch, and that's a 31, and that may get through the infield for a base hit, and it will be. So that 1 run scores. And runner on second, F advances. George Hendrick is probably an F, so he'll probably score from second base. But if he's an A, he will hold. Okay, he is an A, so it's an RBI single for Kennedy, and the bases are loaded. Still nobody out. Kenny Reitz. We're playing for the double play all the way around. With a 14, that will, oh no, it's a fly ball to center field with the bases loaded. And let's see. We rolled a 4 there, and that will say the center fielder is a W or A arm. Runner scores, and the center fielder is Collins. He's an A arm, so the runner will score. It's a sacrifice fly. Scoring is Hendrick. So RBI, there's an RBI here, and that was 4, and then there's an RBI there, that's 5. All right, so 1 out now. Runners on first and second. Here's Sykes. He's going to swing away with a 36. That's a double play on a grounder, but it won't be. It'll be a fly ball to right on a line to right field. Nobody advances on that. Oh, wait a second. There's nobody on third, so nobody will advance. Runner tags up on third. All right, 2 outs. And here's Templeton. Two outs, first and second. And that's a 62. That'll be a blank. And on Seaver's card, that's strike 3, and that retires the side. So 2 runs come in on one hit, a walk, an error, a sacrifice fly, 2 hits actually. 2 runs on 2 hits, an error, and a walk. And it's 2-0. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's going to be George Foster leading it off, an 11, and that will be ball 4. So Foster walks. He's on at first. And Van Driesen with a 12, and that will be a 1-10 walk, but that's a 13. So that may be, he's a lefty, that may be a double play. If the first baseman has a strong arm, let's see. Hernandez does have a strong arm, so it's a 3-6-3. They turn it. Great play by Hernandez. And that's 2 outs, and here's John Bench with a 65, and that's a pitcher home run with a 1. That's a deep drive off the bat of Bench to left field. Back goes the left fielder. Kennedy looks up, and that's gone. 2-1. John Bench homers. And the Reds are within 1 run. Here's Dave Concepcion with a 33, and that's line base hit to left. 2 out single. Concepcion is on at first, and no attempted steal there on that. Here's Ron Oster with a 26, and that's a base hit. Let's see if the runner will go to third. Concepcion should be fast. No, oh, he does advance. 1 to 3 does advance. So first and third with 2 outs. And here's Tom Terrific. Big opportunity for Tom to help his own cause here. He's down by a run. Bottom of the 4th, and that's a 14. That'll be a strikeout. That'll end the inning. So 1 run on 3 hits. And we move to the top of the 5th inning. Got a good ball game going here. 2 to 1. Top of the 5th with Overfelt, Hernandez, and Simmons coming up. 1980 Fall Classic Baseball. Check it out. 61, that's a blank. And on Seaver, that's a strikeout. Second strikeout for Seaver today. Next is Keith Hernandez. Pitch from Seaver with a 61. That'll be back-to-back Ks, actually. 3 Ks in a row. He struck out the last 3 batters. And here comes Ted Simmons, switch hitter, 41, and a 41 should be a base on balls, and it is. He walks. 2-out walk to Ted Simmons. Seaver painting the corners against Simmons, and here's Hendrick with a 63, and that will be a fly ball center field. On the run is Collins, and Collins runs it down to retire the side. No runs, no hits, a walk, 1 left. We got bottom of the 5th inning and a 2-1 ball game here in Cincinnati. It's Bob Sykes. Sykes can go 27 batters. He's still good. He's got 18. That's a 56, and that should be a strikeout, and it is. Second strikeout for Sykes today. Here's Ken Griffey. He's 1 for 2 with a single, a 36. That's a blank, and a 36 will be an out. Fly to center field because there's an 8 there. If there's an 8, it's a fly to center. 2 is a fly to center as well. That's the only number that's unusual. Here's Ray Knight with 2 outs and a 46. That's going to be a ballpark result, and that's a drive. It's going to fall in. Center fielder picks it up, and it looks like Knight is trying for 2. And the center fielder, Hendrick, is an A2 assist 2. That means, oh, actually, you know what? It's a 1 to 3 on this. So 1 to 3. Use outfielder's assist rating. Okay, so it's a 1 to 2. So 1 and 2, he's out. Otherwise, it's a double, and it's a 3. So it's a double. He's in there safely. Stretches a single into a double. Thrown out in time. So the tying run is in scoring position for George Foster. Here's the pitch from Bob Sykes, and that's a 45, and that's a grounded to short, picked up by Templeton. High throw, but nice stretch by Hernandez, and that retires the side. So no runs, 1 hit, 1 left, and we go to the top of the 6th inning. Durham is up with a 61, and that will be a strikeout. Check swing, to check with the umpire, and he rings him up. And Durham doesn't like it. Barry Kennedy now with a 63, and that will be a 15. He's a lefty. First base. 2 down, and here's Kenny Reitz with a 66, and that's a drive. And that's going to be all over the center fielder's head and hits the base of the wall. Into second base with a 2-out stand-up double here in the top of the 6th is Kenny Reitz. Bob Sykes is up next. Here's the pitch to Sykes, a 66, and that's going to still be an out. It'll be a line out to right to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left. You know, I play old school. My pitchers go the distance. That's how I like to play it. And here's Dan Dreesen leading it off with a 16, and that will be a bouncer to first, taken by Hernandez, 1 away. John Bench is up next. Pitch from Bob Sykes, the lefty, a 36. That's a blank, and a 36 will be an out. 11 is a grounded to short. Templeton throws out Bench. Concepcion now with a 55, and that's going to be Ooh, a drive into the corner, and that kicks up some chalk. That's going to be a fair ball. It bounds away from the left fielder, Kennedy. And Concepcion's going to try for 3. Here's the throw, and not in time. It's a 2-out triple for Dave Concepcion. That's his 3rd hit of the day. Ron Oster, they're going to walk Oster here to pitch to Tom Terrific. We will let him bat here in the bottom of the 6th. The pitch to Terrific. That's a 12. Strike 3. And that retires the side. No runs. 1 hit, 2 left. And it's a 2-1 ball game. We're going into the top of the 7th inning. Gary Templeton leading it off against Tom Terrific. Here's a pitch, and that's a 16, which will be a line out to the shortstop. So hit on the screws, but the shortstop, Concepcion, right there. 51, that's another error because it's a 1 again. And that's going to be an error on the first baseman, Dreesen. And it's a 1-base error. So ball hit to Dreesen, he bobbles it, and everybody's safe. So it's an E3. 3rd error by the Reds. And Overfelt is on at first. He's an A base runner. Here's a pitch at Keith Hernandez, and there goes the runner. Going to try a hit and run here. And Hernandez should be, he's a B hit and run. We rolled a 5. And that's hit on the ground to the first baseman. The runner will advance. So runner in scoring position. Ted Simmons up. Switch hitter. Two out. Top of the 7th. 2-1. Cardinals against Tom Terrific. And Terrific can go 30. He's gone 27, 28, 29, 27, 28, 29, 30. He's gone 30 already. Here's the pitch, and that's a 16, which will be an out. Will be a line out to right to end the inning. No runs, no hits. 1 left, the error, and we move to the bottom of the 7th inning. And the bottom of the 7th for the Reds is going to be the top of the order. Collins, Griffey, and Knight. Hey there. We're continuing in the bottom of the 7th inning. Scores 2-1 St. Louis. It's St. Louis at Cincinnati. Tom Seaver versus Bob Sykes. Both of them are... Sykes can go 27. He's gone 27. But he can still go until he allows a base runner. So we're going to have to bring up the relievers and see what that's going to be about. And like I said, it's the bottom of the 7th. It's 2-1 St. Louis. Cincinnati will be batting. It'll be Dave Collins, who batted .303, by the way, in a full season in 1980. So he had a great season. He hit 20 doubles, 4 triples, 3 home runs, and stole 79 bases out of 100 attempts. Here's the pitch. That's a 16, and that will be an out. A 12 is popped up. Infield, shortstop calling, makes the catch. So Templeton with that catch, and 1 away. Next is Ken Griffey. Senior, by the way. He's a lefty batter. 32, that's a blank. And on Sykes, that's an out. A 12, again, another pop-up. This is one is catcher calling for it in fair territory. 2 away. 2 pop-ups. So Seaver is holding his own here. And I'm sorry, Sykes is holding his own against Seaver. And here's Ray Knight. Ray Knight is 1 for 3. Now, runs came in the top of the 4th for the Cardinals with a single and a sacrifice fly. Single by Kennedy and sacrifice fly by Kenny Reitz. And a solo shot by Johnny Bench for the Reds. Only run. Ray Knight. And it's a 64. That's a blank. And the 64 will be bounced to second. Picked up by, who is that there? Overfelt. And he throws out Knight to retire the side. So 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the 7th. We go to the top of the 8th. George Hendrick leading it off. It's Hendrick, Durham, and Terry Kennedy. Here's a pitch from Tom Terrific. Love saying that. 36, that's a blank, and that will be bouncer to second base. Glove by Oster, and he throws out Hendrick. Next batter is 0 for 2, Durham. He was intentionally walked in the 4th. There's a pitch to Durham, a 63, and that will be bounced to first base. And stepping on the bag is Dreesen ahead of Durham. And here's Terry Kennedy with a 45. That will be a ground ball to first again. A lot of lefties in this lineup. There's, I think, 7 lefties out of 9 batters. There's a lot of ground balls to first base today. No runs, no hits. We go to bottom of the 8th inning. All right, George Foster leading it off. Foster, Dreesen, and Bench. And we'll be right back. Okay, we're in the bottom of the 8th. George Foster, Dan Dreesen, Johnny Bench. Seaver had an easy top of the 8th. 3 groundouts, 1-2-3 inning. And here goes. We're looking at the roll 2d6 is a 43. That's a blank there. And on Sykes, that will be a 1-16 base on balls. That's a walk. And Foster walks with the tying run at first base. And out comes the manager. And he's going to the bullpen. It's going to be Cott, Jim Cott, facing the lefty Dan Dreesen. So let's. Not only did the dice fall, but so did the pen. All right, let's see. We got another pen here. Yeah, we got a lot of pens. All right. Let's get... So Sykes did a good job. He went 7 and allowed only 1 run. And here comes Jim Cott. Let's see what kind of... He is a B pitcher. And he will be facing Dan Dreesen. And Dan Dreesen's a decent hit and run guy. So we're going to take off with Foster. There he goes. And it's a 9. So let's look at that. A 9 is a pop up to shortstop. But if the hit and run grade is an A, which he is not, he's a B, it would be a grounded to second. So pop 6. And that's 1 out. So Cott retires Dreesen. Then it's Bench and Concepcion, but we're keeping Koch in. This is 1980. And here's a pitch. That's a 51. That's going to be an error check on the second baseman with a 7. And the second baseman is Overfelt. And let's see what kind of second baseman he is. He's a 3, so he makes the play. And not only is he going to make the play, he's going to go for second for 1, back to first, double play, because it's an odd number. An even number would have been just a fielder's choice. That retires the side. No runs, no hits in the bottom of the 8th. I already wrote that in. I was ahead of myself. All right, Tom Seaver still in the ball game here in the top of the 9th. Kenny Reitz, he'll be out by the next inning most likely because I'm going to pinch hit for him. So this as long as he doesn't give up allow a base runner, he's still good to go. He's going to face Kenny Reitz, and in the pitcher spot, you know what? Let me bring in I pulled a double switch. I didn't announce it officially, but let's make sure we get that in there. Hold on 1 second. It's going to be a 7. Let's get the double switch and I'll tell you who's coming in. All right. There was double switch there. We go back 1. And left field can play left field. We got Dane Org. Bobby Bonds is available. You know what? We're going to put Bonds out there. Bobby Bonds Sr. for the Cardinals. Bobby Bonds Sr. Here he is. He'll go out to left field. And bat. Well, he was brought in on a double switch, so I just didn't announce it. Didn't worry about it at that point. All right, let's do it. Kenny Reitz against Tom Seaver. 63. That will be a bouncer to second. Easy play for Oster. 1 down. Next is Bobby Bonds. 21, and that will be a strikeout. Seaver is, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th strikeout of the game. Not striking out as many as he did as a young pitcher, that's for sure. He had 100 strikeouts in 168 innings. Had a shortened season. I think it was an injury season. He only had 26 starts in 1980. I guess he comes back towards the end of the season because here we're at the end of August. And here's Gary Templeton with 2 outs of 65. That's a pitcher home run, but it's a -7. Seaver is a 1-20, so he gave up a lot of home runs that year. One makes it a 13. The -7, it's 1-20 on the pitcher 65 result. It's 1-13. We roll a 7. That's a drive off the bat of Templeton, and that ball is gone. Templeton with 4 home runs. He hits one here. You'd think that, well, he doesn't have any home runs anywhere else, only on that, and a -7. And that's a home run. Gary Templeton makes the score 3-1, and that's going to drive Seaver from the game. What we can't do is let him go one more batter at a shelled or a D pitcher rating, which is pretty intense in this game. Almost everything becomes a hit and a walk. Let's see what happens. Ken Overfelt. Seaver's still in there. 3-1. And 25. We may get lucky on that when we do. That's an 11. That's bounced to the third baseman. Picked up by Knight and throws him out, and that retires the side. So we got lucky there. Anything else would have been a hit, like anything in the 30s, 40s, all the way up to 64, I believe, is a walk or a hit on the shelled pitcher. So this is a game where you really want to pull your pitcher right away. You don't want to push him. You know, other games you can get away and kind of, but not in this game. I don't know if that's good or bad. I'm not too sure. You know. So really, the fatigue starts setting in as he gets closer, as the pitcher gets closer to his batter's face limit. Right? That's when the fatigue starts setting in, and you got to keep an eye on that. Once he reaches there, he still can. You're really pitching him fatigued, but he's still holding his own. He's reaching back for a little extra. But then once he gives up that hit or that walk after he's past his fatigue point, then this is where he is already, tired, totally tired, and that's what this game is trying to represent. It's a little bit of a different take on your standard fare. And this game has one thing I like about it, has a lot of little unique takes, particularly the grabbing the outs, which are extremely well distributed. It's a well planned out D20 out space system. All your outs come off the D20, but there is a lot of variety, and you'll see, you'll have innings where similar outs. But look at this inning right here. This is interesting. It's a grounder to the pitcher, grounder to the first baseman. He flips to the pitcher, and then it's a pop up to first base. And the reason that's happening is because there's a lot of lefty batters. This whole lineup is almost lefties, right? So there's going to be a lot of grounders to first. Why? Because they're lefties. Look at this inning. A fly out to the left, a grounder to first. The first baseman takes it, and then it's grounded to second base, 4-3. So, all right. So it's 3-1 the score. We're in the bottom of the 9th inning. So last licks for the Reds. It's going to be Concepcion, Oster, and a pinch hitter. And let's see who we're going to use as a pinch hitter here. Pinch hitter for the Reds is going to be, we got Nolan, a lefty. Well, we got Cott. Jim Cott is in there, so we're going to use Mejias or Cruz. We can use Mejias or Cruz as pinch hitters. Let's see who I find first. You know what? We can also, oh no, Geronimo's a lefty. Oh, Sam Mejias, I found him first, so we'll use him as a pinch hitter. So that'll be good. We're ready with that. And let's finish up this ball game. Bottom of the 9th. 3-1 Cardinals. Tom, terrific. May be stuck with the loss. We'll see what happens. Here's Dave Concepcion. That is a 42. And Jim Cott, we said, was a B. So a 42 is a blank, and it's an out. It's a bouncer right back to Cott, who is an excellent fielder, known historically as an excellent fielder, and he makes the play on Concepcion's grounder back to the mound. And here's Ron Oster. Oster today is 1 for 2 with an intentional walk. He was intentionally walked to get to the pitcher, who struck out. Ron Oster. Let's do this with a 22, and that's going to be ball 4. ball 4, and he's going to play it safe. So the only time I'll let you know, when you're down by 2 runs, you can play it safe. So he's not going to be stealing. So it's going to be a pinch hitter here. And we said it was going to be Mejia. Sam Mejias, excuse me, with an S. Pinch hitter. There he is. And he's a righty against Jim Cott, the lefty. Here's a pitch. And that is a 43, a blank. That's going to be an out. A 10 is a line out to the center fielder. 2 away. And the Reds are down to their last out. Reds are down to their last out. It's going to be Dave Collins, who is 0 for 4 today. He did bat .303 in 1980. And here's a pitch from Jim Cott. Collins batting from the right side. That's a 44. That's going to be lined up the middle to center field for a base hit. And Oster will stop at second base. Again, we're playing it safe. We're down by 2. So here's Ken Griffey, lefty batter against Jim Cott. Cott had 4 saves, so this he pitched 130 innings, so he did appear plenty. And that's really what we got here. We may have somebody else, but Jim Cott is the guy at the top in terms of appearances. He appeared in 49 games for the St. Louis Cardinals. All right, here's a pitch to Ken Griffey. It's first and second with 2 outs. The tying run is at first base. Here's a pitch. A triple will tie this game. A 42 is a blank, and a 42 is an out. Ball game will be over. It's a little number in front of the plate. Out from behind the plate is Simmons. Throws to first. And that's a 2-3. That will end the ball game. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. Final score, St. Louis 3, Cincinnati 1. Seaver takes the loss, unfortunately. Bob Sykes gets the win. A save goes to Cott. Couple home runs hit in this game, one by Johnny Bench in the 4th and one by Gary Templeton in the top of the 9th inning. Now, this game saw 4 errors, 3 committed by the Cincinnati Reds. There was 1 on the first baseman, Dreesen. There was 1 on the third baseman, Knight. And there was 1 on the shortstop, Concepcion. So it was 3 runs on 1, 2, 4, 5 hits. 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the Cardinals. For the Reds, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1 run, 9 hits, and 3 errors on the Cincinnati Reds. So the Reds out-hit the Cardinals, but the Cardinals made their hits count. They got them at the right time and drove in those runs. They win it 3-1. This is Fall Classic Baseball. Tony Porter. Like and subscribe. Take care.